when I went to my first hackathon. It was hosted by the University of Michigan, and there were 1,000 students making websites, apps, and robots late into the night. It really opened my eyes to how useful computer programming was, which I'd previously only been using for math-style competitions. And between the free food, industry mentors, and staying up all night working on projects with friends, it felt like something special that I needed to share. I started organizing students at my school to attend hackathons on buses. First, we were carpooling to the University of Waterloo to take their bus, and later we had enough interest at our own school to fill our own buses. Eventually, my friends and I ran our first hackathon at our school, getting the tech companies to come to us and sponsor our event, and bringing the experience to even more students. Being able to do all of this gave me such a sense of agency. I realized that I could be the change that I wanted to see in the world. Originally, I wanted to be a doctor, but the medical schools in Canada wouldn't let me in. And after doing a master's in bioinformatics, I ended up switching to software entirely. A hackathon that I went to landed me a referral to Pinterest, and I moved to the US to work here. Since then, I've organized things from coding interview prep classes to laser cutter training at my local hackerspace to effective altruism meetups, and more recently, building community as well as physical spaces for parents of young kids to be able to better be involved in adult civic and social life. There's this idea I have seen circling around, the idea of a community of practice. A community of practice, according to Wikipedia, is a group of people who share a concern or passion for something that they do and learn how to do it better as they interact regularly. I realize that leading these kinds of spaces and being part of them, even starting some, is where I feel drawn. I think that our church is a community of practice in some ways as well. The Unitarian values of love, interdependence, justice, and equity in particular are meant to be practiced. And I find myself constantly encouraged and inspired by fellow members' practices of community building and activism, which feeds into my own energy to organize and volunteer. We teach each other how to make and inhabit these powerful spaces together. And I think it is really meaningful that we are doing this here in San Francisco, which in many ways is the center of the world, a bastion of liberal policy and technological advancement. Obviously, our city isn't perfect, but I'm optimistic that we can make things better with love, interdependence, justice, and equity to guide us. And the world is watching. Thank you.